or of his father. So on Saturday afternoon she had closed the library early, and here she was, bound up Hill Street for Deputy Sheriff Link Pierce's office on an unhappy mission. It had to be the county officer, because Northfield's police department was Raleigh Fawcett. Old Raleigh's policing had been limited for a generation to chalking tires along Main and Hill Streets and writing out overtime parking tickets for the $1 fines that paid his salary. There was simply no one in Northfield but Link Pierce to turn to. Susan wasn't happy about that, either. The trouble was, to Link Pierce, she was still the female Peter Pan who used to dig the rock salt out of his bottom when old Mr. Bury caught them in his apples. Lengthening her skirts and having to wear bras hadn't changed Link's attitude one bit. It was as if he were immune to feminine charms. The way he carried on with that overblown Marie Fullerton just before he went into the army, for instance, had been proof enough of that. Link came home quieter, more settled, and he was doing a fine job as Sheriff Howland's deputy in the Northfield district. But he went right back to treating Susan as if they were still swimming raw together in Bury's Creek. She parked the rattletrap in the space reserved for official cars only, and marched into Town Hall with her little jaw set for anything. Link went to work on her right off. "Well, if it isn't Snubby Sue," he chuckled, uncoiling all 6'3" of him from behind his paper-piled desk. "Leave your specs home?" "What specs?" Susan could see the twitch of a squirrel's whisker at 200 yards. "Last time I passed you on the street, you didn't see me at all." "I saw you all right," Susan said coldly, and drew back like a snake. "Link Pierce, if you start chucking me under the chin again—" "Why, Susie," Link said, "I'm just setting you a chair." "Well," Susan sniffed, off guard, "is it possible you're developing some manners?" "Yes, ma'am," Link said respectfully, and he swung her off the floor with one long arm and dropped her into the chair. "Someday," Susan choked. Now, Link said gently. "What's on your mind?" "Tom Cooley." "The silk purse you're working on?" He grinned. "What's Plowboy done now? Swiped a library book?" "He's disappeared," Susan snapped, and she told Link about Tommy's failure to show up at the library and her visit to the Cooley farm. Of course, Link looked indulgent. "There's no mystery about John. He's been away over a month looking to buy another farm as far from Northfield as he can find. John took Sarah's death last winter hard, but Tommy's supposed to be looking after the place." "Well, he's not there." "Probably took off on a toot." "Leaving a $4,000 tractor to rust in a half-plowed lot?" Susan's ponytail whisked about like a red flag in a high wind. "Tommy's got too much farmer in him for that, Link." "He's 17, isn't he?" "I tell you I know Tommy Cooley, and you don't." Deputy Sheriff Lincoln Pierce looked at her. Then he reached to the costumer for his hat and sheep-lined jacket. "Suppose I'll never hear the end of it if I don't take a look." Out in the parking space, Link walked all around Susan's recent acquisition. "I know," he said gravely. "It's John Wilkes Booth's getaway car. Where'd you get her?" "Miss Flora Sloane presented her to me 3 weeks ago, when she won that Chevrolet coupe at the bazaar drawing." Link whistled. Then he jackknifed himself and got in. "Is it safe? The chances I have to take on this job." He went on like that all the way into the valley. Susan drove stiffly, silently. But as they turned into the Cooley yard, Link said in an altogether different kind of voice, "John's home. There's his Jeep." They found John Cooley crouched in a Morris chair in his parlor, enormous shoulders at a beaten-down slope. The family Bible lay on his massive knees, and he was staring into space over it. "Hi, John," Link said from the doorway. The farmer's head came about. The bleached gray eyes were dazed. "My boy is gone, Lincoln." The voice that rumbled from his chest had trouble in it, deep trouble. "Just heard, John. Ain't been home for weeks, looks like." He peered through the dimness of the parlor. "Where's Tommy at, Sue Marsh?"